Greetings everyone, I am RSV. So, Hiro had an interview with the developers of Pso2, and there were a lot of good things in this interview. However, I want to narrow down on 3 things within the article. The first one I have seen a bit of confusion around, and I wanted to clarify exactly what it says. Keep in mind, there could be a translation error. However, this zone, Ray-Jawed Gorge, has the unique feature that players within the sector will constantly take low temperature damage. In the translated description, at the very least, it does not specify whether or not you have to be in a hazard or not. That means this zone has a negative debuff on you at all times. I don't necessarily think this is an awful thing. If the damage is too low, well, people are just going to use Rest Aside and be minorly annoyed by it, and it's going to be pointless to use the augment. However, if the damage is tuned properly, we will need the augment to go into the zone, and I think this is actually decent for the game going forward. Needing specific gear to go to specific regions, I think is a novel and pretty smart idea, although people may disagree. But here really comes the problem though. Will Ray-Jawed Gorge just be another lower Maki? In other words, a combat zone that we don't go to because there is no reason to? Well, here's where things get complicated, and this really boils down to the weapons we get at Kavaris' launch. At the moment, they have spoiled that we will be getting 2 weapons, the Evil Equip series and Shell series. Now, what's my problem with these 2 weapon series in particular? Well, one's a drop and the other is bought from a vendor. If Evil Eclipse is stronger than Shell, well, that just eliminates all reason to grind for a weapon in the next patch immediately if you have done previous grinding. And Shell is already relegated to a catch-up mechanic the moment the patch goes live, which I don't think is very good design. The other thing, as I said before, it makes Ray-Jawed Gorge kinda pointless. Another thing I want to mention about this is they don't mention armors at all here, and I think this is really important. I've been saying that it's likely we'll get an armor that has 3% potency in Kavaris. However, so far we have not gotten a single glimpse of a single armor, and I think if we do not get an armor with 3% potency, this will be bad. And what I actually mean by that is an armor that has more potency than 2%. Not necessarily 3%, it can be 2.5% as well, as long as it's an upgrade from the Gant and Grias series. Not necessarily sports, however. But what's the problem with Ray-Jawed Gorge based on this information? Well, a big problem that NGS is facing is there's no reason to do anything realistically. Sure, you can farm out Captain, sure you can farm out this, that, sure you can get Macedo and buy costumes from the shop, but there needs to be more than just Macedo grinding in the game. Getting accessories from Geolab is fine. The problem with that is people just do it to farm Macedo 99% of the time. Gear progression is very important, and the zone needs to be rewarding apart from leveling. If we all go into the next zone and are done within 10 hours, what was the point? What was the point of releasing a new patch? We basically just had a change of scenery with still nothing to do. Sure, we've gotten 10 hours of content, but what's the point of that content if we have nothing to do? I am very worried about this on my note, that we will continue to just get nothing. And that's really the problem with NGS currently. It isn't necessarily that there's a lack of content, it's that there's no system supporting the content they have. Captain is actually a step in the right direction for this reason, as it is a system that makes the PSE burst system even better, because now there's also the chance of getting a captain on one of the trial spawns, which is great. So it's not necessarily we need more content, we just need more things like Geolabyrinth and Captain. However, this is mostly just me reading comments from an interview. There is something else that I really wanted to touch on, and that is class skills. And what I'm going to say about this is simple. We are likely going to get more skill points in Kavaris. If we only get 1 skill point per class, a lot of classes will have a lot more useless points in the build, and everyone is still encouraged to invest those points because it increases our BP, even if they are being useless. And I'm kind of worried that the dev team isn't thinking about this. But while most people probably don't care about this as much, this is an issue in design philosophy, and I think that going forward, if this does not change, there will be issues going down the road. And there probably already are. From what I have heard, people still aren't satisfied with the state of their classes. And while you can't satisfy everyone, I do think that the classes are in a state that they aren't very satisfying. Sure, classes have gotten better with the extra PAs, however, classes need a bit more skill points to invest in that, and I hope they deliver on this in Kavaris. I've been RSV, I hope this information was helpful, and I will see you next time.